there was a person. Gotta love it. I'm not gonna quit my job. I don't see that happening anytime soon unless something absolutely outrageous happens. But, excuse me. So this is what I like about HVAC. And I've talked to multiple people. I think I've told multiple people this. And it sounds really stupid, I feel like, as I'm explaining it. But I'm going to say it anyway. So, and then I got to give the whole explanation. I'll just give the short answer because sometimes it makes me feel like a hero and I can make people happy. That's just the short answer. Now, let's go with the long answer. So, my first ever job, I worked at a spice factory. Those who know me know, and because I don't know if I'm allowed to say brands or where I've worked. I don't know how this stuff works. But if you saw, I think my last vlog, it was the last hat I showed, is where I worked. So I worked at a spice factory, and I worked there, I think, 9 months. I wasn't planning on being there. I have no expression when I wear these. I'm new, my eyebrows all around. Well, I guess you can kind of see. I'm sorry. So I worked there like 9 months. Wasn't planning on working there that long. I just wanted a job. And my goal was always to get into HVAC because I needed a hands-on job because I never once cared about college. And my mom never shoved it down my throat, which I appreciate. So thank you, Mom. I know you're watching this. I know you're proud of me, and I appreciate everything you've done for me. Anyway, going through the woods again. So I was working there probably 3 or 4 months because my cousin worked there. That's why I worked there. Some of you may know because I think he's been on this channel a few times in the older videos, and of course he's been on the other channel. Benny. He worked there, so that's why I wanted to work there. And so I worked there for about 4 or 5 months, I think. And I was talking to some people as I was working, bottling up some crab spice. And I told them, like, yeah, I'm not always planning on being here forever. I want to get into HVAC and stuff. And my boss, his son, overheard me, and he had a vendetta against me since then. So you're supposed to work there for like 2 or 3 months and you get free t-shirts. So I was like, heck yeah, I want a free t-shirt. Because I'm weird like that. Same thing with hats. I love free hats. Anything free like that, I'll take it. As long as it's not, whatever, we're going off too much. So for next month or two, he kind of had a vendetta against me. And I don't want to say too much about everything. But he eventually did evaluations, and he asked me, he's like, are you staying or are you leaving? I was like, oh, I'm not leaving. He was like, oh, okay, good. And then I ended up leaving like 3 months later or something like that because I wanted to get into HVAC. It's actually funny how I left. So my wife's family had a vacation. I never went on vacation with them. At that time, we were just dating. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go. So I was like, either I'll quit and not have a job when we go, or they'll give me time off. So the guy offered me a few dollar raise. Of course, I was 18. I didn't really care. I was like, nah. So I quit. And I left there and I worked another job. But this was, I want to say, probably a year after I already quit. And it was at a warehouse. So, never mind. So it was at a warehouse, and I hated this job with a passion. I only worked there for 1 month. It was the worst experience of my life. It was kind of in a bad area, and it wasn't great. The people that worked there there was people there that had like criminal records, and like one guy was like, oh yeah, I've murdered people. Of course, who knows if that's true. I was 18 or 19, so I don't know. I believed him. So I was miserable there, and what I did there was I packaged It was like a distributing place. Listen, hold on. Wait. I don't even have to cross if I wanted to press it. So like they would have like a bunch of snacks and stuff, and like they distribute to like grocery stores or sodas and stuff. So of course the section I got put in was cigarettes, and I just didn't like that at all because of affiliation with that stuff. Not me personally, but that's personal stuff that I am not going to put on the internet. But so I didn't like that. I hated every second of that job. The guy I worked with was a pain in the booty, and I absolutely despised working with him. He had no work ethic, and like at this time I found an HVAC school. So I was going there, and the boss there was really cool. And I was like, yeah, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to have to leave a little early because my school is this far away, and I'd have to make it in time. He was like, oh yeah, no problem. So one day I was about to leave, and that guy I was working with was like, no, you need to stay. And I was like, no, I got to go to school. He's like, school's not that important. I was like, it's way more important than here. See ya. So I left. And yeah, I think I only worked there a month, maybe even that. And I found a job through the school, where I work now, and I've almost been there for 3 years this fall, and things have been good. So this is a very long story. I feel like I'm a hero, and I don't know if that's selfish or not. My other 2 jobs, yes, number 1, the Spice Factory. I made spices for people to put on food to make food taste good and stuff like that, but I never got to see the customers that received the spice and stuff like that, and I didn't feel like a good person doing it, I guess, really. I didn't really feel like anything. But at the distribution whatever freaking place, I felt like an awful person because I felt like what I was doing was influencing use of tobacco and stuff, because I'm helping store the stuff, package the stuff, and like helping them put it on carts to sell to people and stuff like that. So I felt like an awful like morally I felt awful, and I know that's such a stupid thing because you got a stop sign there. Okay, I'm just not gonna stop. Cool. That's right. So I felt awful there, but here at this job, I get to go to jobs where it's hot as balls in this place, and people are like suffering and they're obviously upset, and I can go in and I can fix it, and they thank me and they call me a hero. They're like, you're the man, and all. Like, I don't know if this is selfish. Like I think I said it in maybe my first vlog, I've always had a bad self-image. Always put myself down. So like hearing complete strangers compliment me, calling me the man, and thanking me for fixing their unit, and so like it just means something to me. So Jacob, to answer your question very long, that's the answer. I don't know how long I've been recording this, but yeah, that's my answer, is because it makes me feel good inside to help others. Yes, we might do some stuff that isn't necessarily needed, or there are a lot of customers that are just total jerks and look down on you like you are some sort of peasant underneath of them. Jacoby, I know you're probably thinking of the same people. What job sites? They look down on us and stuff like that. And you do have your customer like today who swore one of our techs didn't do their job. Meanwhile, they did do their job. It was just a coincidence that something happened, which is possible. But he was like, no, he didn't want to pay. So it's just, you get some really nice people and you get some really nasty, no good people. But that's what I love about HVAC. I'm probably not going to record much longer. But I do want to go just talk a little bit more. Screw it. Who cares? Only Jacob and my mom watches. Hey yo, I'm so cool. Look at me with my Mustang. Nah, I don't care. I don't care about cars, bro. Your car can make the most poppy sounds. I don't care. I'm like, okay. But yeah, I'm just making these for myself, for my own mental health, so I can speak and just feel like I'm being heard and stuff. So I'm gonna go around the back of you. Don't worry about it. I feel healthy doing this, and like I said, I put it on my Instagram for people to ask me questions, which was actually pretty good. So thank you, Jacob, for your question, because that pretty much was the whole episode. But it's just, I hate doing stuff like that. I absolutely despise it, because and I used to do this a lot more, was I used to put every single video I'd upload, I'd put on my stories, Snapchat, Instagram, whatever. And I get all these people who view it, and only like 5 views. And like that would, especially when I was younger, would destroy me, because I'm like, wow, my friends won't even watch my stuff. But then like when I'm with them in person, they hype me up about it, and it's just like, I don't know. There's no specific friends. I'm not trying to be like saying, oh, this exact person, but it's just like, I don't know. Because I would always watch videos on how to grow a YouTube channel, and they're like, show your friends, show your fam. Like, I did, and nobody really cares. But there's a few, and I appreciate you few. I have names immediately in my head, so I want to thank you all. There's like 5 of you, so thank you. I appreciate it, and well, I hope this episode was enjoyable. None of these probably are that enjoyable for you, but they are for me. So comment down below if you have any questions you want to ask me on a future video, or if what hat you want me to wear. And if this is your first video, go back and watch the previous one, episode 3, where I go through all the hats. Maybe in the next episode I'll go through all the hats again, so that people can see them. So I hope you bruvs enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see all you bruvs next at the times. Goodbye.